is winning. Happy Wednesday. You know what it is. It's my water bottle. Happy Wednesday. I know y'all winning. I know y'all counting y'all wins today, right? And I know y'all didn't think I was going to let the day go without my morning message, even though it's the afternoon now. Yeah, we still going to get it in. We're still going to get it in. And today, it was on me to speak about focus. I have heard so many people, and I was even one of them. I still am. I'm a big multitasker when it comes to little things. And, let me actually correct that. I'm not into multitasking as much as I used to be, honestly. Again, I've been studying very wealthy, successful business owners for a long time. And gradually, as I grow, I won't even put an N on that, as I grow as a business owner myself, I see how so much gets lost in multitasking. But I used to brag on being a great multitasker. But again, it was never with anything very important. I'm extremely focused. And the reason why I want to share a message on this topic is because many people, even people that are on their beginning journey of being an entrepreneur or whatever, like I've been in investment groups with people, and they just think multitasking is the thing, and it really isn't. You have to focus. You have to focus on what is important and what you're trying to build and grow. Even if that's yourself. Even if it is mastering yourself. God damn it, I know it. I know. Stop with all the alerts. Even if that is self-mastery, you're not going to be able to achieve any level of greatness if you're constantly distracted by little minute menial things. It's just not gonna happen. And if it is, then it's already happening. Like, great. And the you that I'm talking to, not anyone specific, probably isn't even watching this video because they're all multitasking, multitasked, what the fuck ever. You've made it to the top, right? By doing a bunch of different things, spreading yourself in all these different areas. If that has worked for you, great. You're probably the only one that it has worked for. You're probably the only one that has been able to simultaneously do multiple things at the same time, and they all get the proper amount of attention that they need, the proper amount of focus that they need. Like, at this point, I can't even go on with the bullshit analogy because it really is bullshit. Greatness requires focus. If I think about still trying to post my magazine, build my media company, and build my cleaning company at the same time, that's just not possible. For one, the magazine took a lot of time. I did a monthly magazine, and it's nonstop. It's nonstop research. I did everything. It's a lot of work. No matter if it's self-mastery, if it's building a business, if it's, going to school and playing sports, why? That's a great example. This is why I like the athletes that, let's say, got an academic scholarship, but they are, one of the best on their football or basketball or hockey or soccer, whatever, whatever, college basketball or high school basketball or whatever, right? But they got an academic scholarship, which means they did not let their studies fall to the side, and they didn't let their practice fall to the side. That's a great example, because something like that, it's really more clear on how you can dedicate your time. You know what I mean? And that still requires focus, because the one you have to do to really get to the other. And when it's a situation like that, they highlight these people because they went so hard and was so extreme on their dedication. You know what I mean? Like, you have to think about the time that they may wake up, to do whichever, whether it's practice or get their homework or research done or whatever the case may be. It requires focus. Y'all play so much. I think I am. I'm trying to get to my destination without using my GPS. So I'm testing my memory, which has never been the greatest. You have some people who are so easily distracted from their own goals and their own path. When you are very easily distracted from anything, how do you expect that you'll be able to build something, that you'll be able to master yourself, that you'll be able to even give someone else what they need, if your focus is so all over the place? There's nothing wrong with having tunnel vision on something that you want. There's nothing wrong. Like, it's necessary to have tunnel vision to get to the next point. Like, I'm headed to my client's house now. Ooh, I want to check them. Now I go dip off in there because I'm distracted by, I want to go in there. And look, there's one right here. So let's just go now. But I'm headed somewhere, right? I have a goal. I have a destination. But a squirrel. So let's go over there and play with the squirrel. So you go in there, you bullshit around, distracted. Like you were on something else. You were going somewhere else. You have a goal. You have a goal. Okay. So now you come out, you're back on track. You've lost valuable time that you cannot get back. Also with that, while you were on the path, at the timing that you were on the path, you don't know who was on that path that could have been a great resource for where you're going, because you messed your flow because, look, a squirrel. You're so easily distracted. The universe really aligns everything for us when we are aligned with our own goals. Examples throughout life, throughout my personal life, of how just being focused, staying on the path, not allowing that squirrel to get me distracted and so excited that now I veer from my path. And you know what? Just at the next block, you're exactly what I needed. Like, you're the puzzle piece. That's just how it works. Everything, the universe puts everything together for you, but you have to stay on your path. You have to stay focused until you get to that point. And then when you get to that point, what is your next goal? Again, it's about evolution. It's about evolving. One thing cannot just stay that same thing. You know what I mean? An acorn has to become an oak tree, but there's a process in between that. It's not just overnight. It's a process. And the most important part of the acorn becoming B, the oak tree, is not even A and B. The oak tree is Z. And then from B to Y, that's the process. That is the process. And you have to stay focused from the A to Y to get to your Z. And that's because you're already going to have so many outside things happen that are out of your control, that are already going to, require you to reroute, make new decisions, and different things like that. Like, there's going to be so many variables that you cannot control that comes along with that journey. Why add to it with your own look? Why add to it? Why add to the unknowns that are already going to come? It's inevitable. It's like buying a house and saying, oh, my furnace is never going to break. Well, it sucks to be you and to think that way, because unless you're moving out next week, at some point your fucking furnace is going to break. At some point, you're going to have to do some major work at some point, right? So it's the same thing to think that, oh, I can just easily be distracted. It's not a big deal. It is a big deal if your goals are a big deal to you. It is a big deal if you really want to master yourself. It is a big deal. You have to focus. You have to focus. And that's probably the one plus to this piss poor educational system is they do at least try and, teach you to focus. Irvine Boulevard. Was that my turn? I think that was my turn. No, that wasn't a squirrel. That was a missed turn. I think. Red Hill to Irvine Boulevard. Is that my turn? I'm not going to use my GPS. I'm gonna get there on my own. I'm gonna get there without GPS. I'm gonna check that out. I think that was my turn. Irvine Boulevard. And I think that goes to Brown. Yeah, let me I don't know. All this shit looks so familiar. And I think this is a way that I can get there too. One thing that I remember, one of my exes in my early 20s said, getting lost is really just a matter of you've either gone too far or you haven't gone far enough. And those little words right there has helped me out immensely. You've either gone too far or you've not gone far enough. And usually in my case, I've not gone far enough. And I think I'm on the right. I'm doing right. I'm doing right. Sweet. I'm so proud of myself. Yeah, I'm doing right. My bad, y'all. I had to talk myself through that. Because I want to not always rely on the damn GPS, especially just getting between my clients. I'll figure out the rest later. Now I just want to be able to go from one client to another without using GPS. And this particular one, like coming from where I'm coming from and going to where I'm going, I've been doing these two the longest. So I should know one of the routes that GPS takes me to. But I'm working on my direction illiteracy. I am very direction illiterate, not as much as I used to be, because I've been working on it since I was in Arizona. So I've been focused on not being direction illiterate. And I do, like I'm focused on that, and I have to pay attention. I have to constantly think, okay, well, Craig said the mountains are north, the ocean is south. Okay, LA is, I always forget, it's either east or west. But I know the mountains are north, the ocean is south. And I constantly, every time, like I test myself, I get in the direction, like I've been working on not being so direction illiterate since I was in Arizona. And it has required me to focus on direction, on like it requires focus. I can't just be so lackadaisical about it to think, oh, well, if I just stay here long enough and just mindlessly use GPS, I'll figure it out. Because no, I won't. That's the key to knowing yourself. I know myself. I know myself, and I am so directional. Used to be. I'm really not as much anymore. But I used to be so direction illiterate that I would physically have to turn around in the direction to get myself redirected. I can go into somewhere and come back out and be like, damn, which way did I come in? And that's not my piss poor memory. That is, I really can't tell which way I came in from. I really can't tell, so I'm a lot better because I have deliberately worked on not being so effing directional illiterate. Had I not put any type of focus on that, Lord. See, they be flying through here. Had I not put any type of focus on that at all, I would still be where I was in the 90s, in the early 2000s. Like, not knowing which way is which. So, if you want to achieve anything great, any type of real self-mastery, you got to focus. You have to focus. You cannot multitask. You can't multitask. Everything looks the fuck the same around here. This is Foothill. Somehow or another, maybe I should have went that way. But I need to be, okay, I know where I am from here. Yes, I should have went that way. Come on. Go around. Damn, bitch, pay attention. See what I'm saying? Pay attention, focus. These people be oblivious behind the wheel. Oblivious. Like, I'm right in front of you. Pay attention. So funny, one of my longtime friends from Minnesota came here before I transformed the mansion and took my passenger seats out. And he really solidified, I'm taking all of my fucking seats out. Like, I don't need no passengers. Because he's got a real big problem. Him and his sister. His sister, he's a twin. His sister got my car hit one day, pointing across from me like that. I'm like, who the fuck does that? Well, apparently they do. Because he's using his hands, and I'm like, bro, sit back. I need my mirrors. He said, yeah, and you use them too. The fuck are they there for? And that's what I said to him. I'm like, well, shit. I thought that's why they put them on the damn car. Was so I can use it and see what's going on over there. Now, with your hand all in the goddamn way, I can't see my mirror. Sit back and hold that big ass cup of soda you got. Like, oh yeah, I'm so glad to not have fucking passengers. I just don't, people are too careless for me, and I'm very, very, very particular. I'm very particular with my own shit. So I'm even more with other people. Because I'm very careful with my own things. You know what I mean? I'm not going to have a big ass 7-Eleven cup filled to the fucking brim. First of all, I don't drink soda. But if I did, why would I get that? And then in the other hand, I got one of those little round circular alcoholic drinks that they sell at like 7-Eleven and Circle K. He had one of them. So now you got, and if anybody know anything about Mercedes, like they don't have the best cup holders. And I don't even think they typically have cup holders, but in here they do. But it's not for that big ass, big gulp cup. And I'm turning corners. Baby, these LA streets are nothing to play with. They got curves and turns and dips and bumps. Don't spill that shit in my car. Hold that fucking blue ass drink. What the fuck are you drinking? Baby, look, I do not need any passengers. And then I don't like chatter. Just shut up. I'm driving. Just be quiet. Just don't bother me. But I got to tell y'all about that right quick. Let me tell y'all about that right quick. Now, this is my homeboy of 30-some years. This man calls me on a Tuesday. Said, I'm going to be there Friday to see you. Cool. You know you more than welcome. Cool. This mofo didn't make no accommodations. Talking about, oh, I thought I was going to stay in the mansion with you. In what mansion? What mansion? Not the Mercedes mansion with me. I said, baby, the mansion is only big enough for one. What? And then I gotta drive to LA to the fucking LAX to pick you up. You didn't rent a car. I ended up telling him he rented a hotel. He rented a motel. He rented a space for him to stay. And I ended up, the conversation came up and I said, next time you have to do better making your accommodations. You can't, I said, Reginald, even if I did have an apartment, even if I did, how you just gonna put yourself on somebody? Allow me to invite you. Don't just put yourself on somebody like, oh, I'm gonna call you 3 days before I'm gonna get there and I'm gonna stay with you and you gotta come get me because I'm not rent. I said, no, you gotta do better at getting your accommodations, for you. What the fuck? Where do these people, and see, this is why I'm saying, I know I put in a lot of work. And most people just go through life and just have birthdays and put in zero work on themselves, put in zero attention to how they were in every situation, into their own actions, because it's so much easier to blame. No, that isn't easier. That isn't easier because you don't grow. You don't learn a goddamn thing from that. What kind of grown ass 40-some-year-old person does that? And just because someone may not do that, it doesn't mean that you still don't need to focus. It doesn't mean that you still don't have your own set of work to do on yourself, right? That's some shit that person got to deal with. What's the shit that you got to deal with? It's easy to point out other people's shit. I've been my own therapist because it was more important for me to point out my shit and deal with it. It was more important for me to focus on me and what I'm going to do, how I'm going to get better, how I'm going to be responding to things, how I'm going to act versus react. Whether or not I'm going to live my life on offense or defense, whether I'm going to continue to try and call myself a multitasker and not get anything done because I'm spreading myself so thin and thinking I'm accomplishing something. I gave the analogy before. You have people who run on the treadmill going nowhere, and you have people that like to get outside and run and actually go somewhere. And when you're out on the terrain, when you're out on the pavement, on the gravel, on the rock, on the grass, each different surface is working your muscles in different ways. Each surface is requiring you to um, stabilize yourself in a different way versus just that treadmill, the same, and you're going nowhere. You're going nowhere. You're just moving. You're busy, but you're not productive. You're not getting anywhere. You're not evolving. And even the results in the bodies are going to be different. The person that's running outside on the terrain, that's actually going somewhere because they're focused on whatever it is they want to grow, you know what I mean? Whatever it is, what endurance they want to build, you're going to get it more outside because you have more elements working with you. And I do say with you because you're running into the wind, back, that to deal with. And that does play a factor in your body. The differences in pavement, like I said, that plays a huge factor. Whereas when you're in this controlled environment, a gym, and you're on this machine that you can control the speed that it's going, so then you can be, and then you can hold on. When you're running outside, there's nothing you can hold on to. I see people on the treadmill like this or on the stair climber like that. When you're actually walking up a flight of stairs, what is there for you to hold on to like that? So you're doing yourself a disservice by being at the gym on the stair climber like this. You're not doing yourself any favors because that is not how you actually climb steps. And see, this is where focus comes in. If you were to focus and say, okay, let me just think a minute. When I go home or when I go to work or when I go into is this how I walk up the steps? And if it is, what is this here that I'm leaning on? And let me pay attention to the fact that I've been on here for an hour, right? I'm a little, I feel it. I feel it. Yeah, I've been on here an hour. My body's been moving, but I've been on here an hour. That is that's the tell right there. You've been on there a fucking hour. You can't be on there an hour and you going, you stepping, you're using you. You know what I mean? If you do, you're gonna be drenched. Your fucking quads, your calves, your hamstrings, everything is gonna feel it. Your core, everything is gonna feel it. When you like this, you playing with yourself. You playing with yourself. If you're gonna do something, what's the point in half-assing it? Nobody's impressed. You're not even impressed with yourself. So when you multitasking and you spreading yourself thin as fucking mayonnaise, you're not even impressed because you're not seeing any results in anything. Nothing has a result. Nothing has a positive goal. And then at the end, you're just going to quit them all because you're not getting anywhere with anything because you can't focus and you lean over on the treadmill like this. That's why. Stop being lazy. Focus on the thing that is most important for where you want to go or where you want to be at that time. Once you have mastered that and now you can do it in the journey, it doesn't require as much work. Like now, I don't have to retreat and isolate as extreme and for as long as I did in my 20s. In my 20s, going through how to take care of myself, to isolate myself from people. When after situations and different life things that would happen to now recenter myself and figure out who I am now, where I am now, I would have to isolate. I would have to pull myself out of the world, take care of me, dig, analyze, pay attention to everything before I can get back out there. Now, because I've been doing it for so long and it's just like breathing for me, it's literally just like breathing. I don't need to go through all those extreme measures anymore. Doesn't require all that. It's the same as when you actually take the time to put in the effort to, God damn it, you're going to be on this stair climber. Do the damn thing. Get the work. Get the work. You know what I mean? If you on there, get the work. So now you're going to notice next week, oh, you have more endurance. Why? Because you're relying on, you're not making excuses. You're not putting blame on anyone else. You're being accountable. You're relying on yourself and you putting in that work and you getting that money. You getting that fitness money, right? So next week, you're going to have a lot more endurance and a lot more stamina. So now you're going to be able to go harder and you're going to put it on a little stronger setting because now it takes more resistance for you to feel it now because you're stronger. You're a bit stronger than when you started. When you like this, you're not getting any stronger because you're leaning on. And if anybody doesn't believe me, test it out. Try it. Try it. Try it. If you don't think I know what I'm talking about, try it. And you'll see 100%. 100% what I'm saying. So focus on what's important at each phase of your life and of your journey. It is a journey and enjoy the process. The growth of becoming is magnificent, and you can't get that just by jumping to the end result because, for one, you're not even able to jump to the end result. You're not where you need to be. You don't know what you need to do. You don't have where it takes that required of that end result. This is why people that come into money fast, lottos, and different things like that lose the shit quickly because money does not solve money problems. Mindset is the only thing that's going to solve a money problem. Mindset is the only thing that's going to solve a life problem. So somebody can come and give you something, but you haven't gone through the process of becoming who you need to become to be able to handle that thing.